We'll now call to order the City of Lafayette work session that's scheduled for today to discuss the budget for the 2018-2019 fiscal year. We'll begin with turning it over to our clerk, Lewis Davidson, to start it. It'll just be an open discussion today to look where we are, look for opportunities, and try to identify some possibilities that on some decisions that we may need to make.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to remind everyone that in October, I don't know if you guys remember, but in October we passed a level funding budget so that we have an operating budget for October 1st. I mean, our fiscal year runs from October 1st to September 30th. That budget was pretty much the budget that we passed the previous year. It did not include any of the requests from the department heads. So kind of got thrown off a little bit with special election and whatnot. So we really have not picked that back up. Now that we're finished with the election, I'm kind of trying to push it a little bit more because we really need to go ahead and discuss this and get this out of the way because we're past the halfway point now and we really need to begin discussions on the FY20 budget, which is 1920. So I gave you a copy. It has fourth draft. You had a copy in your council packet, right? But I actually put a new copy because there was a couple things that I forgot that we had discussed previously that I didn't omit from that copy. So if we're just looking at it, I'll just start off in the beginning. On the first page, you'll see that we're projected to have $2,221,754.03 in general fund revenue. That's on the right side of the column. If you look down the left side, you'll see that everything that's included in the general fund, which is city, y'all, as far as the legislative body, city hall, which is my department, non-departmental, which includes things like the Chambers County Development Authority, Alabama League of Municipalities, Chamber of Commerce, all that is in non-departmental, the non-departmental category. We have the police department, fire department, EMS inspection, all the way down to library. As you can see, those projected expenses, if we include everything that everyone requested, is $3,152,446. So you see the general fund would actually be at a deficit. If you go down, it's the same thing as far as the electric department, the projected expenses, the projected revenue, and you go all the way to the next page and you'll see that as of right now, with everything that each department had requested, we're short $406,052.33.
Sure. Say it again.
$406,052.33. I want to make a couple of notes. One, this draft budget does not include anything involving the new city hall. Two, this draft budget does not include anything involving the new city hall.
Right.
Three, this draft budget does not include the excavator that we talked about at the previous council. So that's why I thought it was important that we kind of put all this together and kind of try to see where we are going forward. There are going to be a couple of adjustments. I don't have the numbers on here now. I will give them to you by the end of the week. But in this budget, it doesn't have our midpoint numbers as far as this fiscal year. Everything's not going to be in, so it'll be a little off anyway because it's so early in April that we're still kind of going to have numbers coming in for March, especially like expense-wise, because a lot of stuff that maybe we used or either purchased in March that we haven't been billed for yet, so it's not going to show up on the financials. But I will input those numbers this week, so we'll have somewhat of an idea of where we stand as far as revenue and expenditures at the halfway point. I will say at the halfway point we seem to be slightly up as far as sales tax revenue goes. But then there's some other stuff that we're kind of down on. And then on the expense side, there's some things we really kind of need to discuss. But I just really wanted to, everyone to just kind of have an overview of this and be able to look over it, because we really need to dive into it. If you get past the revenue and we start getting into the expenses, you'll, let's see, flip past the legislative page and you go to the administration page, which is City Hall, and you will see in that budget, if you go to the very bottom, new City Hall, you see it has 0. So we haven't budgeted anything for that new City Hall. Next page, of course, is, like I said, non-departmental. Next page is going to be the police department. We have, it says 3 Impalas, but they're actually not Chevy Impalas. They're actually going to be Ford Interceptors, and that's $105,000. But on the revenue side, $50,000 that is going to be taken out because we're going to receive $50,000 from USDA.
Right.
Yes, the grant. So, but of course we have to list that separate. So I have to list the entire expense on one side, and then what we plan on receiving from USDA on the revenue side. Next, we have the fire department. I kind of, on mine, I just kind of notated certain things, like the fire department's really the first page where I started kind of keeping track of extra things that were asked for. So Chief Cotton has a gear/fire hose line item for $20,000, so I kind of notated that. And what you'll see is, when we get to the very end, everything that I bring up that I've notated, that total will amount to $432,000. Okay? And that's significant. I just want you to pay attention to that, because if you look on page 2, again, you'll see our deficit is $406,000. EMS department.
Go back over that one more time.
Okay.
Go over the 432,
Okay, yes.
those numbers.
Yes. Each item each capital outlay item that I list going forward, the total of all of those is going to be $432,000. And so our deficit is $406,000. Well, we're also going to have some instances where some department salaries are going to be under. So that under what the projected budget was, or the proposed budget. So that's going to help us some too. And I'll give the department heads, or rather we'll give the department heads again, so that we can kind of sit down and talk about how they came up with their salary line item, so that we can try to get a little bit closer. And then there are some where it's going to be over, way over. And we kind of need to discuss that too, so we can get those closer in line, so that we'll have a better idea of what we're dealing with. I know the number sounds like a lot, but I've been here 10 years, that's probably the lowest number we've had working on the budget. You know, I mean, in prior years, we would start off and the budget was always $900,000, $1 million off, and we kind of work through it. So it's not insurmountable, it's just we need to work on it.
The 406, just in that range, is as low as I remember.
And
Recently, as far as,
and in fairness, it was higher, and we kind of went through, I kind of went through, and y'all went through, we adjusted some things, so it originally was higher. Of course, this is the 4th draft, so. Councilman.
Yeah, Lewis, I know, a while back you emailed me, I think at the Tuscaloosa mayor, they were doing a temporary, 1% sales tax. Do you remember that?
That was an article where Mayor Maddox from
Yeah,
Tuscaloosa was
Tuscaloosa, yeah.
proposing that.
Posting that, well,
Their city council
yeah,
voted down.
they voted it down.
Yes.
They did, okay then.
They did.
Well, my thing is, I mean, this, well, I know it might sound funny, but, you know, order for people always need stuff. I know George's department needs stuff, and I know Randy's department needs stuff, but in order to buy stuff, you got to have money. I mean, how you gonna get money here? How you gonna get some money if you don't do something? I mean, 1% sales sounds seem like a lot, but ain't but 1 penny. I mean, Lynette, Valley, Opelika, Auburn, they got it. I mean, most people live here sharp down there anyway. I mean, so those guys got a truck they can't even drive. They just tore all the pieces. And that man, he desperate for a new truck, right? September.
That's correct.
I mean, so how we gonna buy this stuff with no money? So we gotta figure out a way to bring some revenue in. I mean, you know, everybody else got a, what, 10% tail saying, right? Opelika, Auburn, Lynette, Valley, we don't own, somebody don't have it. And most people here, they go down there and shop anyway. Don't bother them. They live here.
Stop all the speeders out on the highway.
Huh?
Stop all the speeders
Yeah,
out
that'll
on the
help
highway.
too. I mean, anything that can work, I mean, hey, that's a good idea too. As long as we bring in some money, you know, that sounds good.
The police can park in our driveway
I mean, whatever it takes. I mean,
and just wait for them.
yeah, because, you know, we can't just, you got to bring in some money in order to spend money. I mean, you know.
Well, Lewis has never turned down anything.
I'm just saying, that we got to bring in some money in order to spend money. I know everybody wants something. I know George wants something. I got quite sure Randy needs something too. And Randy just laid back. Yeah, he don't really say a whole lot, but I know he needs something in this department too.
He does to me.
He does. He
says
knows
it
it
just-
Are we allowed to say anything, or just for being mayor?
Well, actually, right now, we're gonna go ahead and let him finish.
No, you wait. I just want to.
I mean, this is, we don't have an agenda when you get into a work session, anything like that. But, you're more than welcome, like I said, to listen and see where we're going. Not just for me, a lot of this today is looking where we were in October and looking where we are now. And I'm gonna reach over as far as I can and give our clerk a lot of pats on the back.
He does a great job.
Because
Yeah.
every one of our department heads go to him on a regular basis. And he tries to take a look at every item and figure out what we can do. There's not gonna be anybody sitting up here that I believe that doesn't want an excavator. We just have to figure out through this process how we can do it. At a upcoming council meeting, we will allow our superintendent, George Green, to give a little bit of an update, because I think it's safe to say that we have saved ourselves $50,000 plus in the work and in kind that they've been doing, that the architect saw fit that would assist in driving down the price in the long run.
Right.
But what each one of the department heads wants and feels like that they really need is something that we want to make every effort to provide. Now, through the information that we received today, if you walked in here and you said $406,000, that sounds like a lot, but probably 4 or 5 months ago, we were listening to numbers that were $800,000 plus. Now, if we make that much progress in the next 6 months, if we have in the last 6 months, we're going to be talking about being much more close to a break even. Then, if retail sales are a little higher than we planned, if we bring up and discuss further 1 cent sales as to what that would generate, and we have some specific numbers, but you want to go back and be as exact. But some things like that are not just a 1 year thing. If we do that, it's going to generate every year. So it's it's gonna come into our, not expenses, but to our actual, income that we're gonna be receiving. So it's gonna make some of our numbers, go up. But most of the time, when you're looking at the budget, it's a combination of things. So it's a lot of different combinations. And I don't wanna jump out, but in one particular case, George is working without an assistant, and has been. So we know that if you just looked at that one particular position, there's been some money that's been saved. So as you get closer toward the end, as our clerks pointed out, there's gonna be the possibility of some more revenue that comes in. There's gonna be some departments that are more in line than others. And they get a pat on the back or a new truck or something, and then we figure out where we are with, the others. But the $406,000, and that's what we're down to right now, which was at one time possibility of $800,000. So I'm gonna let you go ahead where you were, and I'm gonna show Mike this number right here on the new copy.
Yeah.
You just passed this one out. A little bit different.
And Mayor, let me say this too, one thing I want to stress. One, when I talk about how the total of everything I highlighted is gonna be $432,000, I don't wanna make it seem like I'm saying, oh yeah, we just pull all that stuff out and we're fine. Because at the same time, I talk to my department heads every day, and multiple times a day. And we've had conversations, I mean, just to be quite honest with you, for years, about things that are needed that they end up being cut to balance the budget. And in fact, I want to say it was the previous administration where I made the comment during the budget process that we've cut things for years now, and some department heads really need certain items. I'm fairly certain that was the previous administration, because I'm 99.9% sure. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying, oh yeah, just cut everything and then we're balanced and we can move forward. That's just not what I'm saying at all. We have some vehicles in some departments that are over 20 years old, correct? Right.
27.
Yes, 27 years old, and it's not a vehicle, say, that I have at my house, an old pickup truck where I may just drive every now and then, driving every single day, Monday through Friday. So stuff like that needs to be addressed, and I hate that I was kind of running late, so I meant to bring the insurance list of all the vehicles, so I could rattle off the 97, 95, 96, 93, those are old vehicles.
That's why too, when we talk about declared stuff surplus and that stuff, those type of vehicles need to be put on that list.
Yeah.
To be declared surplus and find ways to get money. You need a vehicle.
And they do need to be declared surplus, but let's also understand they're currently using them. So if we sell them, then they go from having something that's too old to not having anything. So you also got to, we also have to replace.
What bicycles and mopeds and
So I just wanted to, I know sometimes the department heads probably think, oh, it says this and says that, but I always try to look at things from multiple sides. I always try to look at things from multiple viewpoints. Just like I'm sitting here now talking about this, but I'm also mindful of the last time 1 cent sales tax was brought up, we had citizens that came out, and they were not happy. So
3 or 4.
So, well, I'm out in the community as well, but I guess my point was, that's another reason why I'm saying we need to get with department heads and go over the budgets and make sure we understand, everyone understands, so we can cut as much as we can, so that you can look your constituents in the eye and say, hey, we did everything that we could possibly do. This is where we are right now. We may or may not still have a shortfall. If we do, how are we supposed to handle it? And
point, not saying we're gonna do it immediately, but if it comes to the point where we have to do a 1 cent sales tax, as long as you explain and show the people what you're doing with the money, I think that they will feel better about it, you know. But you got to explain exactly, make it crystal clear how the money gonna be spent. That's just my point about it. If it comes to that point, you know, we're not saying that you know.
Thank y'all. I'm on record. But kind of just getting back on track with EMS, Chief, one of the things that I highlighted, Chief Cotton had equipment, listed at $45,000, various pieces of equipment. To go to the next page, in inspection is pretty much the same. Next page is street department. Couple of line items in George's department. We have $15,000 for resurfacing, $15,000 for sidewalk repair, $15,000 for guardrails, and $30,000 for a new pickup. One thing that we need to discuss too is we do need to pay roads. I know George has been in contact with other department heads like Richard, because what we don't want to do is work on the road and we're gonna come back and tear up because of a water line. So I know they're staying on the same page as far as that goes. But we also have additional funding that can be used to repair roads through our gas tax for 1 and 2. So that's
How much
something.
do we have available now?
You can see, I would need to look that up because those funds are like directly deposited into our accounts each month from the state, and I'm not sure what the exact balance is. I want to say one of them is maybe $350,000, and then the other one maybe $100 something thousand. I can look it up. I actually just reconciled the bank statements like
We got that, we get to use.
a few days ago, and I just don't remember off the top of my head.
There are a lot of streets that are in bad
shape, that's right, yeah.
And we had a street assessment performed, how long ago was that, Joe?
Probably about 2.5 years
Yeah,
ago.
2.5 years ago. We probably need to revisit that and start looking at those streets, and it was listed by importance as far as like how bad the street was. And we probably just need to sit down and have serious discussion about that and start scratching some of those streets off, like, okay, this one and this one we plan on doing at this point, and the next one. You know, and that's just kind of a plan, you know, just, I need to get together and discuss that. Animal control is, you know,
Do we have animal control?
kind of, yes. Yes, we have, Officer Harwood is
Okay.
currently,
Has it been a ongoing problem, the animals are being, nobody been,
well, I know he has been really busy dealing with animals. I talked to you, what day was it last week when all you did, you said the entire day you just had like calls or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact day.
I got a picture of 5 bulldogs at my house for 3 days right here. A pit bull at my house for 5 days,
Well, I'd like to say some count.
right here.
Well, just wait,
Oh,
let's kind of trying to stay on track with this particular meeting, with the work session in regards to the budget.
And I do know currently what's happening as far as like, since Officer Harwood is also performing those duties as well as code enforcement, all of that is just coming out of the police department budget. Is not really coming out of an animal control budget. Previously, we had a dedicated animal control officer. He's part-time, but so all he did was animal control. And then that position at some point was eliminated, and that employee at that time was moved over to the street department. And then the street department kind of took on the role of animal control and, well, animal enforcement. And now we are now, we have a code enforcement officer that's code enforcement and also doing some animal control.
I think we,
I don't know.
yeah, I think we look at, I thought we authorized one time to just hire solely an animal control officer.
I think that would be
That's
a
all
good
that
idea.
person does, animal control.
That would be a great idea.
Yeah, we,
I mean, the officer, when he got his hand handful.
You got a handful.
Probably
You got
got
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember how long
There's a
ago
lot.
that was. I think when we did that, the applications that came in weren't the best. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I'm not against that either. We probably do need a part-time person at the very least, but again, that needs to be discussed, because you can see in this 406, hiring a part-time animal control officer is not included. So even if you take it away from Officer Allwood, well, Officer Allwood has hands full with code enforcement, so it's not like you're gonna reduce.
No, I'm saying, he got more than enough, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that's
one
what I'm
man
saying.
doing all of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, so we're gonna still have him, but then that's gonna hire him part-time or full-time, however y'all choose to do it, it's gonna add to the budget. So that's a discussion, it just needs to be had.
I'll say one of the other police officers over there is not doing too much, and let them be kind of control.
I don't think too much, yeah. I can take that position.
All right.
I agree with you on that, yeah.
Community
Call
center,
them, call.
community center, within the senior center is about the same, you can see. Going over to the cemetery, I know we discussed it in the past, but I'll just bring it again. Superintendent Green goes street, sanitation, cemetery, VMD, and inspection. But when we're dealing with salaries, we have cemetery, street, sanitation. And we kind of divide salaries up in those various departments, because he really doesn't have, say, 2 guys that are on the street department. They're just working all of those departments. One day they may work at the cemetery all day. Another day they may be dealing with the limb truck and trash and whatnot. Another day they may cut all the right of way or whatnot. So it's really difficult to say, okay, well, this person is just only a cemetery employee. So when we look at those salaries, as a whole, meaning all those departments all together. But right now, I just made a note that I know his salary in cemetery is actually under a pretty good amount, and I think that's because the employee that you're short, we will actually code that for cemetery, and you haven't had that employee. But just going down to the bottom, he had, and I can't remember exactly what it was, so since you're here, I'll ask you, I hate to put you on the spot, but in the cemetery department, we had a line item for new equipment, it said $10,000.
That's another lawnmower that everyone we buy.
So that's just one of the items that I highlighted that would be included in the total that I told you guys about initially. If you go to the next page, which is recreation, it's pretty much the same. Slight increase, but it was a $1,000 increase because Superintendent Green was doing some building repair. So I think maybe you started working over at one of the ball fields,
Might have been the bathroom.
bathroom stuff, so that was a slight increase.
Probably with the equipment room as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually made a notation because in the past, that's what we had the city park numbers. And if you see the last line, city park,
Now, I'm glad we mentioned that, because phase 1 has been completed some time now. And if we're gonna keep making progress at the park, we're gonna start having discussions and finding ways to get started with phase 2. There's a lot more to be done over there. Try to find a way to show some progress over there. George, they went through and cleared that land a good bit, and we don't want to grow all back up, have to do all that mess all over again. Something we can look at too. Try to find somebody or somewhere to keep moving with that park.
next page is just library, which is pretty much the same as it was in previous years. Next department is going to be the electric department. I don't know if he's just held off on certain things and he's waiting till the second half of the year to spend certain money, but that's certain things. I mean, that's something we'll talk about to see what he has in mind for this fiscal year for the last half. But I noted that there's a line item, $25,000 line item for right of way, another $20,000 for a pickup truck, $30,000 for a tractor, and I just kind of highlighted those. He needs that stuff as well as the other part of it, but I just kind of highlighted it so you guys see what was added into this when we compared to the level funding budget. Then I wasn't sure, the last item with the jail expansion, and we had $18,465, was that part of being reimbursed, or was that just our portion?
We're gonna get reimbursed by RJ.
I just knew that we were doing some work that was just our work, but I didn't know how much. So.
$2,700 was actually done by the contractor first. We did outage every day. Now, the other part will be toward the end of the year, when we finish, we're gonna do the rest of it.
Next page, we have water plant. There's a couple things that I noted. If you go down to testing, we have an $8,000 increase. And that's because testing costs. We have to do more testing.
We have a certain test that has to be done for 12 straight months, 2 tests a month every 9 years. So that was great, that's just for this 1 year, and then it won't happen again for another 9 years. It's just a certain cryptosporidium that they test the lake to make sure we don't have any coming into the city. We have to do that every 9 years. So every 9 years, the budget will go up on my testing because of that one thing we have to do. But it's not a regular thing, so next year it'll go back down. Just explain that. So you know.
And then you click on the new equipment, like there's an line item here that says 52,000. I know it was multiple things.
Well, one of them was the SCADA that I had talked to them about, and that's where we can monitor the tanks to know our levels. So my water department don't have to drive out here just to look at the tanks to see what level they are. We'll know what they are. We'll have it on the computer screen, and it also has all of our chemicals. So if anything goes wrong, it'll send out an alarm, anything like that. So I had discussed that with y'all at a previous workshop about the SCADA system. So that's what that's for. And then the security cameras and
water distribution is pretty much in line with previous year, with the exception of the salary increase, and I'm going to get with Superintendent Chapman to discuss that. This is before Superintendent Gleason sits down, waste plant. If you go down on the waste plant page, capital outlay, $130,000. That was spent, that was completed, because that was the aerator.
yeah, that was already voted on. We bidded it out.
That you guys voted on and we bid it out. So
It's been repaired and everything's good with it.
I just wanted to note that because that number is not included in this 432 that I added up. So that number I left in as far as because it was already completed, something that we had to do. The only thing that I wanted to bring up, and I know we discussed it previously, we're probably going to have to increase our testing numbers, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So that's one item
That's the
that,
It'll be divided between my department and Richard's department though.
yeah. But it'll
But
go up.
next $1,000.
Yes, it'll go up.
Which department?
On the testing and wastewater.
Yes.
Okay, 11,000.
That'll increase. Going over to the next page, waste collection. If you go to the bottom, at
Well, the limb truck is kind of like a two-part series. The company that actually makes the trailer is a different company than the truck. So we actually can look at that as maybe a two-part series, to be honest with you. Just say if we lose the trailer, we could just maybe look at buying the trailer. If the truck outlasted the trailer, then maybe we just, one of the, if the truck goes down, then we can look at just buying a truck. So that's something that I will speak with Lewis about a little later, and then we might can look at a different option of,
What about getting that trailer painted?
well,
A lot of times, even I've come up on in the road and you can see the flashing light somewhat, but because it's the paint faded and all that.
but I will get with Lewis on that, and that's something we might can reduce that number. So I think it will be close to about the same price either way it goes. So we might can budget maybe one if one goes out, or one of the other. Maybe not both of them, because they come from two different entities.
That's all we're holding up right now for the maintenance.
To be honest with you, we do good maintenance on it, and it does good. It probably run more than any vehicle in the city. So it's holding up well. It might be an item we can kick down the road, I don't know.
Well, it might be possible that we can get another one, I mean, still have that one back up.
Well, that was our plan, because several departments have to use it, like the light department, we have to assist them in a lot of ways. When they trimming and cutting, we pulls it off routes a lot. So we have a backup old one, we would never be down. So it might be something where we can revisit it later, but I'll have a discussion with Lewis, and maybe Randy talk about what we think about the life of it. But they're made to order, so if that trailer go down, you know, it might be a few months before they get one made.
And one thing I like to mention too is, when we start talking about vehicles, a lot of times we're paying for the vehicles, we're just not purchasing the vehicles. And what I mean by that is, get requisitions daily where they need to repair this, they need to repair that, they need to repair this. So certain vehicles go down, whether it's a truck or whatnot, and we keep putting money into it. And then, no, but that's what I'm saying. So when you spend, say if you budget $7,000 on vehicle repair and maintenance, and you spend $25,000 because your vehicles are old, well, you just spent the extra $18,000. 2 years, that's $36,000. I mean, you know, so we're paying for it, we're just not purchasing the vehicle.
That's true, yeah.
So that's kind of something to think about, and I think as we have a couple more meetings, we'll kind of discuss that in more detail too, because you get to a point to where you're really not saving money, you're just spending it in an inefficient way if you keep putting money in the old vehicles.
Particularly when you see some of our vehicles on the road, it's embarrassing.
Right.
Some of the stuff you see out there, they got the Silver Fed emblem on them. That says a lot about us. You know, so.
That's true though, yeah.
Let's get that list and get rid of some of that junk.
That's kind of all I would add, Mayor.
Right now, my department, water and wastewater, I'm down to one vehicle, because actually my vehicle is being used at the plants. Our truck was wrecked, and the car that we had at the water plant caught on fire. It was an electrical fire. We got that car from the police department, one they wasn't using a couple of years ago. And Miss Julia was working the night that it caught on fire. Thank goodness she wasn't in it, but so it burned up, the whole inside's burned up, and I put it on the surplus list.
When did that happen? How long ago was this?
About 2 months ago, I think. I mean, some of these things I don't put in my budget because it didn't happen when we had to have a budget. Sometimes some things come up like this that happen later on, but they're using my city vehicle, and I'm driving my own vehicle, which I don't have a problem with that, but I'm just saying that eventually we need to get another vehicle too.
like I said, that happened 2 months ago, it was my first time hearing about it, so.
Well, no, I mean, I just bring it up because it's the first financial meeting we've had, workshop since it's happened. And I've already discussed it with Lewis, and we've discussed maybe fixing up a few of the police cars that need some work done on them, and we might get one of those.
Yeah, we've had discussions about the Dodge Chargers that were originally going to be surplus. So, because the police department didn't want it. We can use those, maybe in another department, we talked to the mechanic about being able to repair them. And when you're not driving a lot, like say for instance in the water department, they can drive them to go check tanks.
And we pull samples every 2 hours from the lake. They have to drive their own vehicles right now to do that.
So it's not a lot of driving involved, so if you take $2,000 to $3,000 or $4,000 and fix that vehicle up, it probably last a while as opposed to spending that same amount of money and going to try to purchase something new and you really have no idea what you're really getting.
So where we are right now, you did a very good job summarizing everything. But if you look at the $4,000 and $6,000 difference, and not taking that lightly, but it is a number that is less than previous years at this time. That number has been double, so we're not as far off as we have been in previous years. And so I think what we need to do is to continue to look at it with each one of the department heads that you're already doing. There may be a situation from time to time where George has mentioned I might not have to have a limb truck and the trailer. I might can get one this year, one next year, and that's $65,000 that might be there in that particular circumstance, if that works for him. At the end of the day, we are within reach of balancing the budget as we have always done. But I think we're going to have to take that hard look that a couple of council members discussed, is that we're not just looking at just balancing the budget now. We're looking at how we can get the items that are going to be needed. And there's going to be the possibility, we're using the word possibility, of more income. But if you get the 6 months numbers, if you get that out, that'll give us an accurate count on if we reduce that number in. There may be retail sales that are up that put us in a better position at the 6 month mark than we planned on. That exists. So.
I got a question for hey, there's any way we can do maybe like a budget cutback on some of these? Maybe like the police, fire, EMS? What I'm saying, because I see that we spend a whole lot of money with the police and fire and EMS. I mean,
I guess that's something that the council as a whole kind of need to get together and discuss.
So I think
also with the police chief, because Chief Rankin kind of needs to be here to kind of discuss what he has going on in his department.
Yeah.
I really,
we don't know.
I'm not equipped to say, okay, well, the chief needs exactly this and that, and this is why this is up. I do know salaries were up because we had some guys that were at the academy, and then we still had to have shifts covered while they're at the academy, so we're paying people to be at the academy, and then we're still paying people to work. So we recently had, also, I think we recently had 2, either 3 officers to graduate from the academy, so they should be coming back, and that may alleviate things some, but I really feel more comfortable if Chief here was, Chief was here to kind of go into detail about that.
We get a police committee meeting.
Yeah, we got to go on committee meeting.
But, you know, short and sweet, public safety does cost.
Thank you. We in the city of Lafayette are very fortunate to have a clerk like Louis Davidson. We're just very fortunate because he's in communication on a daily basis with every one of the department heads and everything like that. And just like this budget right here. And I know that you watch every penny that's spent. And we want to do everything to provide every service and every resource that each department needs. And I think that's why we not only look at just the budget for 2018, 2019, just to balance it, but at least explore what might need to be done in the coming years to bring more money and revenue in. I think we have to definitely open that door for discussion. I'm not saying do anything, but there's always a need. And for a lot of years, we have balanced the budget, but there just comes a point in time that we've got to put some money back into some of these departments and some of this equipment. With that being said, we're about 5 minutes away from our regular meeting. Do we have,
I'll say something, yeah. I agree with Louis about, about paying the officer that we need them, but half the time when you call them, they don't come, they don't even show up. I had an incident at my house, Saturday. They had a pit bull out in my yard for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they know who the guy's dog belonged to. And they come down there and say, well, we go over there and talk to so-and-so, see can he put his dog up, pit bull dog, those are vicious dogs. And I got nieces and nephews. I mean, so if we gonna pay y'all to put up this amount of money, they need to do the job, if we gonna pay them.
That's what we have the animal control officer.
That's right. I mean, they need to do something. That dog stayed in my yard for 3 days.
But that's
I pit bull, I got a picture right now on my phone.
that's the animal control.
Yeah, but now nobody didn't come. They didn't come. The animal control didn't come. I mean, that's the problem. We're gonna pay these folks to do the job. They need to do it.
thank you again for the update that we've got. Do we have a motion to adjourn the work session?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn the work session. All in favor say aye. Work session is adjourned. We will begin at 6 o'clock with our regular scheduled council meeting for April the 8th.